I was 12 when my mom first trusted me enough to stay home alone. We lived in a quiet little town, the kind that lulls you into believing nothing bad ever happens. Peaceful streets, wide, open yards, smiling neighbors, a place so safe you'd forget danger even exists. That illusion is exactly why my parents thought it was okay. I still live in that house today. The night this happened, it was a weekend. My parents left me alone for the first full night. When I was younger, my grandparents would babysit my sister and me, but she wasn't home and I was old enough now, or so they thought. My parents had us young. They still partied, traveled, lived their lives. They left me pizza money, and it felt like a dream. A whole house to myself, video games, no bedtime. I was obsessed with James Bond games. Nightfire was my favorite. I played it on PS2 again for the third time that week. After finishing a mission, I got hungry and ordered pizza. There was a place nearby, Johnny's. It's long gone now, but it used to be our favorite. I ordered a plain pie. 3 slices were easy at that age. My mom reminded me to wrap leftovers in foil afterward. While waiting, I switched discs for another game. Then came the knock. I grabbed the $20 bill and ran downstairs. Mom told me to tip $4. 3 blocks wasn't far, so that seemed fair. The delivery guy was mid-30s, maybe older, scruffy, long unwashed beard, thick glasses, black trucker hat. I handed him the bill and asked for change. As he passed me the pizza, he stared past me inside. "You here alone?" The words froze the air around me. I remembered my parents' warnings about strangers. I mumbled, "My parents are coming back soon." A poor lie, but it was all I had. There were no cars outside, just a kid at the door. He handed the change, and I shut the door quickly. In the kitchen, I downed 3 slices, saved the rest. Then I went upstairs to play Agent Under Fire. Not as good, but still fun. Time passed. The house grew quieter, darker. At around 11, the doorbell rang again. I assumed it was my parents and ran to the door. I called out, "Mom, Dad," but a stranger's voice replied, low and emotionless. "Hey, I need help." He said he needed a phone. "Who are you?" I asked, heart thudding. He repeated it. He just needed to make a call. Something felt off. I didn't even peek through the curtain. I just turned and headed silently back upstairs. I knew opening that door meant danger. Halfway up the stairs, a loud bang shook the door. "I saw you. Wait, please. I need help." He had seen me through the window. I turned and saw a shape outside. Just a head silhouette. Couldn't see eyes, but he was staring. I bolted to my parents' room, the only landline upstairs, dialed my mom's cell, didn't know my dad's number back then. She answered. Slightly tipsy, maybe, but sobered immediately. I told her someone was outside, asking to come in. Her voice shifted from relaxed to sharply terrified. She asked if he knew I was home. I told her the truth. He did. She asked how. I remembered the pizza guy's creepy question. I told her everything, and that's when the doorbell rang again. Twice. I was panicking now. She told me to lock the bedroom door. They were calling the cops. She stayed on the phone while Dad called 911. They stepped out of the restaurant to speak more clearly. It was summer. Windows open for air. Then I heard it. The side gate creaking open. Soft, almost careful, I told her. She whispered, "Stay quiet. Lights off. Stay still." "What if he tries the den window?" I whispered. "Don't talk," she said. "Just listen." I listened then. Footsteps inside. Someone was in the house, creeping across the hardwood floor. I whispered in panic. She screamed into the other phone. "He's in the house. Hurry." She told me to crawl under the bed. I obeyed that moment. It was unreal, horrific. Just me and a flimsy lock between us. Then, creaking stairs, coming up. Our bedrooms were first. I heard silence for a bit. He was searching. Mom said the cops would break in if needed. I didn't move. Then, steps approached the bedroom door. The knob jiggled, locked. He tried again and again, then a light knock, but no words. Another attempt at the doorknob, then silence, then slow steps. fading down the stairs, deeper into the house. I held my breath, didn't whisper, didn't move. I wanted to cry, but couldn't make a sound. Finally, Mom said the police had arrived, but I wasn't to move yet. Then, thudding boots, a man shouted my name, "Police." I unlocked the door. 2 officers waited upstairs, 2 more downstairs. They didn't have to break in. The back door was wide open, sliding window too. That's how he got in. I told them everything, mentioned the pizza guy. My parents were on their way. When they got back, only 2 officers remained. The report included the pizza guy's info. Next night, we went to Johnny's. They told me to point him out. He wasn't there. The manager said it sounded like Phil, who was on delivery. We explained everything. He insisted that's not Phil, then asked us to leave. My parents made a scene. Said they'd never come back. We waited in the car. An hour passed. Phil never showed. Mom said the manager probably warned him. They contacted lawyers. No case, no evidence, so nothing came of it. We never returned to Johnny's. And for a long time after, I was never left alone again. Deep down, I still believe it was him, or someone he knew, because only one person knew I was home, and completely alone. The night it happened, I was a teenager. My family had just moved from sunny California to a shadowy, remote stretch of North Idaho. My parents had retired early and built their dream home, an enormous fortress-like house hidden deep in the backcountry. We had no neighbors, no passing cars, just miles of trees, dense whispering forests that stretched out into forgotten parklands and eerie, abandoned logging grounds. The house was stunning, 2 stories. A full bar, a gym, even a private theater in the basement. It felt like paradise, silent, isolated, perfect, or at least. It seemed that way. Back then, I was dating my high school girlfriend. One night, my parents went out to dinner downtown, and I invited her over. Just the 2 of us, alone in that big, empty house. I cracked open a beer, underage, but who was watching? We went downstairs to the theater, picked Gladiator, and settled in. At first, everything was normal. Then, around midnight, something shifted. Like a sixth sense, my body tensed with unexplainable dread. My heart began hammering. I kept glancing at the wide, curtainless windows behind us that looked out into pure, black nothingness. I said nothing, not wanting to scare her, even when things got intimate between us. The sensation didn't fade. Instead, it got worse, like someone or something was watching us. After the movie, I walked her upstairs and out to her car. The house felt unnaturally silent again. She drove off and I turned to head back inside, then remembered I'd left the basement lights on. I went back down. The theater room was dark now. I flipped the switch. Then I saw it, at the massive window staring in. Was a man, hair wild, clothes filthy, but his face was frozen in a twisted, deranged grin, eyes wide, burning, and in his hand he held a knife. He was gently tapping it on the glass. Over and over. I couldn't move. My brain refused to believe what my eyes were seeing. I backed away slowly and crept into the bar room. That room also had a glass sliding door. And as I flicked off the light, I saw him again. He had moved from the window to the door, calm, unblinking, grinning, just a pane of glass between us. He didn't knock. He didn't speak. He just stared. I went upstairs, silently, and right then, my parents walked in through the front door. Shaking, I told them, I think I need to be locked up. I just saw a man outside, with a knife. My mom went pale. My dad's face tightened. Without a word, he went to the safe, grabbed his rifle, and stormed outside. I asked my mom what was going on. She said there have been break-ins, a man roaming through the woods trying to get into homes. The description, it matches exactly. We called the police, but they found nothing. No damage, no footprints, just the still, cold breath of the forest. It should have ended there, but it didn't. That night, as I lay in bed, my room directly above the theater, I heard it. A soft, rhythmic tapping beneath me. Like metal brushing against glass. I told myself it was the wind, but it didn't stop. Not that night, not for weeks. Some nights, silence. Other nights, I'd wake at 3 a.m. and hear it again. Once, I thought I heard footsteps on the roof. I'd check the windows, but there was never anyone there, yet I knew he was still watching me. Then winter came. My parents had to leave town for a few days. They were nervous, so they left me a shotgun. Just in case, we also had a massive Rottweiler. Quiet, calm, but when he barked, it meant something was there. One night, home alone, I heard it. Crunching snow, deliberate, heavy, the dog stood up, growling low. Then he exploded, barking, savage, at the front door. He never barked like that unless it was real. I stayed frozen, didn't move, didn't even breathe. Then, a knock, slow, hollow, mocking. I didn't answer. I slept that night with the shotgun across my chest. Door locked, blinds shut, dog curled at my side. In the morning I stepped outside, and what I saw made my stomach twist. Footprints, fresh human footprints. They circled the house, stopping at every window, like someone had been hunting, watching. I followed them through the backyard, into the woods, a half-mile in. The prints began to veer, zigzag, double back. Like whoever made them was trying to lose me. Something in me screamed to turn back, so I did. That night, the tapping returned, but this time, it was louder. I knew it was him. I grabbed the shotgun, slid open the second floor deck door, flicked on the floodlights, and there he was. Same man, same grin, same dead, gleaming eyes. Knife in hand, he looked straight at me, like he could see inside me. I shouted, "Leave or I'll shoot." He didn't flinch, didn't even blink, so I fired, once, into the air. That did it. He staggered, then backed slowly into the woods, never looking away, still smiling. That's when I unleashed the dog. I raced downstairs, threw open the door, and he flew out like a demon, snarling, barking. I'd never seen him like that before. He had a shock collar, so he couldn't go far, but I like to believe he chased that man out of our lives forever. Because after that night, I never saw him again.